Well, I don't know that dance.
Guys, welcome back to Ballroom Feed. We're going to continue on with our American Tango, and we're going to teach you how to do the Corte today. Let's get right in.
All right, leaders footwork to this Corte. So this is the first pattern now in Tango that I'm going backwards first right away, right? Which isn't so crazy for me as it is for the follower coming forward, but my foot direction's here. I'm going backwards right away on my left foot, and then I go forwards on my right foot, forwards left, side, and then I drag this foot in again, right? So my left foot goes backwards, right foot forwards, forward, side, drag, right? My rhythm for this, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. And my timing for this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would go slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. You can see when I go backwards on my left foot that my right foot does not really collect underneath myself. I have a small toe release here of my right foot, but I don't bring it all the way underneath myself and then go move forward again. I step back, lunging back into my left leg, which is the simplest version of this, and then take a step forward on my right foot, forward, side, drag.
Okay, here's the follower's footwork for the Corte. I'll show you one time facing you. We're going to take the right foot, we're going to take one step forward, replace back, and then we're going to continue backwards, going right foot, side, and tap or drag. So from this direction, we're going to take one step going forward, replacing back, then going back, side, tap. Let's do that one more time. So I'm going forward, back, back, side, tap. So you can think of the first part as a rock step, just rocking from foot to foot, and then doing back, side, tap at the end. There are ways to make this a little more dramatic, but we'll get into those styling options later. For now, just do a rock step forward, back, back, side, tap. With the rhythm, it's gonna go slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. And with the numbers, if that's your thing, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and that is your foot directions. Let's get Chris back in here.
The Corte, we're gonna go slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, key points for this Corte, right? So there's a few different ways to do this, and there's definitely a spectrum of how extreme you can make this pattern for sure, right? In its simplest form, which we demonstrated in our individual parts, me just going straight back and her just coming straight forward, replacing again, and then continuing on is the simplest version of this pattern for sure. If you've ever seen this before, I'm sure you've seen more extreme versions, which will kind of show you what the potential of it is, I guess. But again, she goes straight into me, back again, and we get out of the basic as well. The new competency is definitely, the hardest part about this is the follower coming forward for the first time, especially because when she comes forward, it's directly in between my feet, right? So we are dancing very closely together. Her right foot goes directly in between my feet, and the follower is always afraid of kneeing the guy, obviously in an uncomfortable space. So as long as I take a full step backwards, we stay connected together. There's plenty of space always, and you can always check and see, plenty of space. And then we go move together. The only scenario where this would be a dangerous pattern is if she were to assume that she was gonna come forward and I did not go backwards. But if she's following and everybody's dancing patiently, we should be totally fine. But I've never seen a follower lunge forward into a guy without him being prepared for it.
Yes, so that being said, the size of the step is determined by how much space he gives me. So I'm going to follow his position, his frame. Obviously, I don't need to look at his feet. If you have a good connection, refer back to the Tango position video for just how to connect to your partner. But basically, I'm not gonna try to take a bigger step than what he allows me to, even if I could. It's about dancing with a partner, so I have to follow his amount of space that he gives me no matter what. It's better to underdo it than overdo it, I would say. say, especially in the beginning. So that's something to be mindful for. Another thing, similar to what we talked about in the first video, is the posture. We definitely don't want to fall on top of him, and I see this a lot in the Corte, especially for beginners. I'll show you what not to do first here. So I'm gonna kind of fall on top of him, and you can see my frame and my own posture collapse, and it also can be very uncomfortable for the leader because I'm now kind of throwing all of my weight, and it doesn't feel good for me either. So all I want to do, I don't even need to shape or do anything crazy, especially in the beginning. Just hold my posture straight up and down like we already talked about, and maintain that. My spine is completely over my own weight here. I'm not falling over, keeping it as we shift back, and then of course in the Tango close as well. So just maintaining your spine position over your own weight while we're shifting forward and back there is very important for the comfort of both of you.
Yeah. So one half of the spectrum is certainly step size, right? So Lynn's mentioned that you can make it more like a rock step and dance it much more conservatively, which leading this with people you don't tend to dance with often, I'd probably suggest that. So this is one way to kind of regulate how difficult the pattern is I can make this step very small, just kind of rock backwards and then move on to the rest of the pattern. And then as you get more comfortable dancing together and you want to create more space, I will then clear more space as she does more of a lunge forward, and then we can create a bigger line from that position, being stronger or wider in the legs, right?
Yes.
Also making sure that she takes a heel lead coming forward with that right foot, which tends to be forgotten a lot of the times because the follower wants to take a more conservative step and they're kind of like dipping their toe in the water. She takes a strong heel lead through.
However, we're going to do full videos in the footworks for everything, so don't get too caught up right away. Just learn the kind of ins and outs of the footwork,
right? So
or the direction.
So we did the conservative one, but she takes a little bit more of a stronger step through me. We can travel a bit more and take slightly more space, right? So we're not going to go too into detail about this again, about the shaping and whatnot, but a slightly more advanced way of doing this pattern is that when I go backwards, I open myself up slightly and take more of a side step moving backwards. You can see here, I open myself up a little bit, so my left foot is pointed much more over to the side instead of going straight back. And then she'll have to follow that by coming forward towards me with a small side step as well. If we just do that by itself, where I open my body up and so does she, you can see we already naturally start to get some more swing and sway and more shaping into this pattern instead of us just coming kind of straight forward, lunging, and then moving out of it, right? So again, slightly more advanced, which again, we'll go into more details. The feet can open up slightly, which opens up other things, and we can start to move through some more advanced versions of the shaping in this pattern. But we would definitely, leading and following wise, practice this very, very conservatively. We do this fingertip thing a lot of the times where I move back and she moves forward. We keep our own space and our own distance and our own balance. Like she said, maintaining her own posture, and we can lead and follow this much, much more comfortably than dragging each other around actually, which is another point. I definitely don't want to pull her towards me to lead this pattern. That I move myself away and backwards, and because we're connected correctly, she will feel that. Through my hands, I never ever want to pull her towards me to try to lead this pattern, because then I give her no choice but to then break her posture and do it wrong.
Yeah, she won't like it.
She won't like it.
Trust me. Also, there's other ways to shape it without taking the side step. So the side step, for a follower personally, I find it more uncomfortable to follow, especially with the change of direction. So I definitely suggest just doing the forward and back to start out. And then we'll do some variation videos on this specific step and also how to shape and different ways to shape with both types of footwork in the future. So be sure to check those out as well. But for now, just understand the footwork, the comfortability, leading and following it is very important, and just kind of working it into your Tango routine or steps that you know, and then working on advancing it from there.
We'll definitely gonna have combo videos showing us how we got in and out of this basic or out of this pattern with basics and other things around it, so you can see it more in context, but this is at least the Corte by itself.
Guys, thanks so much for sticking to the end. I hope you enjoyed the second pattern in Tango we have for you today. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and check out the rest of our Tango syllabus that we have up on our website. We have more patterns for you, more routines, combinations, and definitely techniques to improve your dancing, so be sure to check that out and leave us a comment down below on what you want to see next. And we'll see you again in the next one. Bye.